everyone, my name is Sandra and thank you so much for tuning in. All right, y'all, today we are discussing homeschooling and why I made the decision that when I have my children, I'm going to homeschool them. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. First and foremost, safety. I'm sorry, but I'm not trusting some randoms that I've never met to care and keep my kids safe. I'm sorry. While you might say, okay, most kids, they're safe when they go to the schools, it's perfectly fine. Based on the statistics, most kids are going to be safe. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Children are the most precious things in this entire world. And I'm sorry, I'm not trusting my seeds with some randoms that I don't know. And especially in this day and age where you have a lot of people with their political ideologies and all this other bullshit. I'm sorry, but you're not going to be teaching my kids all your ideological bullshit. Not going to happen. I mean, think about it. You send your kids to the public school. What if the teacher is like a man-hating freaking feminist who just has all these idiotic ideas about men, and you're sending your son to go to school and have this woman teach him? What kind of information is this person going to teach your kid? And are they going to treat your child fairly? Probably not. And these extremist ideologies are running rampant in society. So just to be on the safe side, I would prefer that my kids stay at home with me, because then I can make sure that I'm teaching them not just my values and morals, the values and morals of my husband. We're going to have the same values, obviously. But I get to teach them how to think for themselves. And you might say, oh, well, they're so young. Maybe just send them to public school for a little bit while they're young. No, that's when they're the most vulnerable, okay? That is when children are the absolute most vulnerable. And I'm sorry, I'm not sending my child to a public school where I don't know the teacher. I don't know what kind of politics this teacher has, nor do I know the biases that the teacher has as well. And especially for Black children, I'm sorry, I'm not trusting anybody with my kids, especially when they're that young and that easily molded. Also, I don't know about y'all, but there was a lot of stupid shit that I learned in school that I didn't even need, okay? I learned a bunch of bullshit that I did not even need to know. I'm sorry. And a lot of it was lies. Let's just be honest, okay? Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, they didn't teach you the truth until later on. Had us thinking they was all kiki and all that shit, only to find out it was fucking genocide. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna teach my children a bunch of lies and then try to correct it later on. No, we're gonna learn the truth and we're gonna move forward from that. The world is a brutal place. And while there are areas where you gotta protect your child, their innocence, once we start learning history, we're gonna learn the real history, okay? None of this renaming slavery as indentured servitude, because it's not the same thing. And a lot of these schools now aren't teaching the grimy history because they want you to have this sense of nationalism, this sense of pride. Because if you really look at history and you realize that your country has been terrorizing a lot of people, you might have some feelings, some reserved feelings. But let's just call spades what they are. Okay? We can be happy to be where we're from, but also know the truth about our history. Okay? It wasn't sunshine and roses. There were a lot of motherfuckers that got murdered, brutalized, all sorts of crazy ass shit. Just so we can be where we are today. And so my kids, they're going to learn the true history about things. And all that useless nonsense, Okay, if they have to make the marks on, whatever test they need to take, fine. I'll make sure they know it just for that test. But we're going to focus on teaching like how to learn, how to obtain information, things you're actually going to need to know, history, basic math. If they're into, more science, things like that, put more energy into it. And that leads me to the next thing. I don't want to send my kids to public school because I want to customize their education. Not all kids learn the same. And oftentimes, you tell kids they need to sit down and they need to focus and you learn. And maybe they're just not capable of sitting still. But a lot of times those kids that just can't sit still, they get categorized as like bad kids. Okay, and then they get treated poorly. And it's like, look, they're not bad kids. They just don't want to freaking sit still. So it's like, I don't want to send my kids to a public school where their spirit is going to get like stifled. Nor do I want them being labeled as bad kids just because they learn different. And I'm going to know my kids better than anyone else. So I trust myself to be able to design an education that works with how they learn. So if my kid is more active, then that means when we're learning things, I need to make it a physical game of some sort so that they're moving their body while they learn. If the child is, really into like just kind of sitting still or reading or, just discussion, whatever works best for my kids, that's how I'm going to teach them. And I can do that through homeschooling them. I can't really do that by sending them to a public school. And I get it. There might be some private schools that you could send your kids to. But then back to what I was saying about the whole safety thing. It's just not going to work for me. It's a no for me, dog. And another thing that I really want to hit on, I kind of mentioned it earlier, is I want to be able to nurture their interests. Whatever my kids are interested in, I want to make sure that I'm giving them the time so that they can put their energy and their heart into whatever it is that they enjoy. Okay? More time into the things that they're interested in. Because think about it. When you're interested in something and then you do very well at it, that's going to boost your confidence. Okay? That's going to boost your confidence. And whenever you're learning other things, you're going to feel confident because you'll be like, hey, I've already accomplished this much. I've already learned this much. I'm already skilled in this area. I can be skilled in other areas too. So I want to nurture their interests so that they're enjoying the process of educating themselves. Okay? And furthermore, I want to teach my kids to think for themselves. I don't want my kids regurgitating bullshit just because they heard it. Even if it's stuff coming from me. I'm going to present them with the ideas and then have them inquire into it themselves. And then see what kind of conclusions they come to. And then ask questions to get them to, challenge their ideas. Challenge what they're thinking. I want to teach my kids to critically think. And to be quite frank, public school systems don't really allow you to do that. It's either you have the correct answer or you don't. And if you're going to a class and the teacher has their own, biases and things like that, then your answer is always going to be wrong if you don't think the way that teacher thinks. So in conclusion, homeschooling is the only option for my kids. I'm sorry. It just is. And I'm very grateful that I'm in the position where I'm going to be able to homeschool my kids. I understand it is a privilege. It most certainly is. And I encourage more Black families to invest that time to make sure that they're able to homeschool their kids if they can. Because let's be honest, are our kids safe in these public schools? The more stories I hear about just crazy ass shit happening to these Black kids, it's terrifying. I'm sorry. It is absolutely terrifying. And all kids are precious. Don't get me wrong. All kids are precious. But it seems as though our kids have a target on their back, especially our sons, but our daughters as well. So a great way to just kind of avoid all that is homeschooling. And like I said, it is a privilege. If you're able to, then I would encourage you to consider it. All right. But that is it. If you like this content, you already know what to do. Like, share, comment, and definitely subscribe. Your girl has hit 1,000 subscribers. Yes, we hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm just over the freaking moon. I really appreciate everyone that took the time to hit that subscribe button. They're rocking out with your girl, and I'm going to continue to work hard to push out good quality content for you, and then just also be myself. Okay, I'm not going to ever put on airs and be somebody that I'm not. I'm going to always be myself. And if you rocks with me, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. If you don't rock with me, but you just like hearing other opinions, I appreciate you as well. But we will be having a PayPal giveaway, and later on I'm going to have some details as to how you can enter in for that giveaway. But that's it. In the description box will be a link to the trailer for The Vision, so go ahead and check that out, as well as a link to the Patreon so that you can get early access to The Vision. Thank you so much, and I will see you either with the next live stream or the next video. Bye!